Hello there, my name is Kimberly Wilson, and welcome to episode 7 of Tea with Kimberly. So, what I wanted to chat about today is I am in a Parisian apartment, actually about to head back to Washington, D.C., and I just wanted to give a taste of what goes into planning an adventure, a solo adventure to a city across the world. Okay, so number one for me was finding a reasonably priced flight. Okay, so hello Google Flights. I found a wonderful deal for a flight over Labor Day weekend and thought that would be perfect. So the great thing is I had flexibility, right? So I wasn't looking for a particular date, a particular weekend, I'm not going for an event. So that allowed me a lot of flexibility in order to choose something that fit within my budget and would ultimately fit within my schedule. So that's number one. Number two is finding a place to stay. So I just always feel more comfortable when my lodging and my flight is all set up. Everything else is just kind of like, the snowflakes in a snow globe. It just falls into place, right? But you gotta have a place to stay and a way to get there. So the second piece with Airbnb, I think I looked for 4 hours just scrolling through Airbnb for the perfect place. I chose this one because of the bookshelves, this kind of plush couch. I just thought it looked really inviting. As you can see, there's these great kind of windows, so lots of natural light. Fireplace, I don't need, and I don't even think it works, but I like the vibe of a fireplace. And it had 2 bedrooms because I had a friend coming over to stay for a couple of days. So that was really what was important to me. So number one, finding a good deal on a flight. Number two, finding a place to stay. Know what it is that you really want. Unfortunately, with Airbnb right now, you cannot filter for bathtubs. So I'm all about, I must have a bathtub. And so I'll scroll through, if I find a place that looks appealing, I then have to scroll through the photos to see, is there a bathtub shown? And if there's not, then I just won't choose it because I want a bathtub. That's all I've done. It's just soaked in the tub while I've been here. And so once you set that up, the next thing is creating a wish list. Okay, what do you want to see and do? And then from that, so I write it all down. Here's an example of my wish list. So I write it all down, and then what I do, it's like moving pieces, right? I try to get the puzzle pieces to fit together. So maybe I am meeting up with a friend on a certain day at a certain time, or I want to go see a jazz concert at a certain day, certain time, or I want to tour the opera at a certain day, certain time. Then what I'll do is I'll get those ducks in a row and then just kind of work around it. And then that is basically how I plan a trip. Make sure my passport is up to date, and then I get packed, and I typically will pack day of or day before. And then that way, I try to choose just a bunch of pieces that will mix and match. And voila, I am ready to head out to wherever I'm going, maybe across the country, maybe across the world. And so that's basically the pillars of making sure that I am set up for Tranquil Travel, right? So number one, good flight. Number two, wonderful location that just feels right. And then number three, the wish list. And then number four, you want to have those pillars where everything just kind of fills in. And if you have no pillars, that's fine too, because sometimes it's like, I've seen all the big things. I really just want to sit in cafes, be an experience. So maybe it's like, okay, I want to choose the cafes, or maybe it's like, oh, I know that they offer vegan options, so I want to go there. So whatever it is, it's like getting all of that set up so that nothing's worse than like showing up in a city, jet lagged, overwhelmed, lugging your suitcase and going like, what should I do now? Right? So I hope this is helpful as you think about planning your next adventure, and thanks for following along and wishing you wonderful adventures ahead.